because we're on lockdown, I'm like, can I come to the grocery store with you, please? And I'm like, it's only one person per household. So I pretend that we go to the grocery store together and we pretend that we don't know each other, and then we cruise each other in the aisles, and then we meet up with each other at the cashier, and then walk out talking. So, and then if they bust us, we'll be like, "Oh, I live in, like, the same villa or the same apartment as him, and I don't drive. Americana, scusa." And so he offered to give me a ride. We have a whole thing planned out. I'm vaccinated, so I kind of feel like, please let me go to the store.
Yeah.
I need to like look at products, or vegetables or anything to, like, feel like I'm getting out and doing something. And I love going to the grocery store here because they have every product and lotions and hairsprays, and just they have everything. Things for plants, things for the house, different cleaning products, and like you're looking at it like, oh, this is not like Tide. So what is this like going on with this, like, stuff, and they all smell so perfumey, and I just, oh, I love it. Um
Yeah, those are good, simple pleasures.
yeah,
Simple
those are like my,
pleasures.
yeah. Or we go, like, I'm like, can I go to the pharmacy? He's like, well, what do you need? I don't know.
This is part 2 with Debi Mazar. If you haven't seen part 1, it's all good. You can watch just starting now. But if you want to catch that one too, there's a link to part 1 in the description below, or you can just tap on this card right up here and get right to that talk. So let's talk about Younger real quick. So you filmed that during COVID, but it looks totally I already saw like most of it. I got press
Oh,
access to
you
it.
did great.
I'm glad that they didn't integrate or incorporate COVID into the storyline at all. By now, everybody's really sick and tired of it, I feel like. So who even needs to see that on screen? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Darren Star. There's actually a nice article that came out in the New York Times, I think, where it was the first time that I read about the fact that he didn't want that. He was absolutely, like, not
Darren
into.
Star.
Yeah, like, and we were like, but we don't want to be in a room with 100 extras. He goes, well, I'm going to make it a safe environment, and we're going to figure it out this way. You're not at risk. And it was such an expensive testing situation. I mean, they would have to like triple test extras. So they would have, like, the PCR, and then like 2 rapid follow-ups before they could even walk on set. And we learned as we went. But I mean, between the shield and the mask, and imagine wearing red lipstick, and you're constantly taking the mask on and off and on and off. It was like smearing, nightmare. Like having your hair done, and then putting your mask behind your ears, and then for me with the ponytails, it was a nightmare. I ended up going, you know what? I'm not going to wear red lipstick, and I'm not even going to like do my hair. I'm just going to wear a ponytail the entire season, because we were switching back and forth. We would shoot 4 episodes at once. So we did
Oh, that's weird.
blocks, and we had 3 different directors, and we would just jump from like episode 1 to episode 4, back to episode 3, back into 4, like at a different time of the day. And it was just like, continuity nightmare. I
That's so
actually,
weird.
for trivia, I got a staph infection from a cartilage piercing. I had gotten like one of those, I forget what it's called. It's the inside of your ear. And I got, like, I wanted a little diamond because my daughter had it, and I thought, oh, that looks so cool. And I already had like earrings up here from like the 80s, and I was like, I wouldn't mind that thing inside. It got so infected, and the doctor told me I had to go to an infectious disease specialist. Like, me, fucking lucky, excuse my language. Like, I must have like put my mask on, and my hand must have had something that I didn't wash my hands, and it went into my blood, and it went, and so I got a staph infection. It took me 1 month. So in that month, I was actually contact traced. I was around somebody that tested positive, so I was sent home for 2 weeks. Thank God, because my ear was 4 times the size. I was on steroids and 4 different
Oh
antibiotics.
my God.
It was crazy, and I bring it up just because, like, in switching back and forth with all the scenes, like, 1 minute I'm wearing earrings, the next minute I have no earrings. The day after that, looking for earrings for like a long time.
I will
So
have to check that out, the last few episodes. I did not notice that at all.
yeah, yeah. There's like one episode where I think I'm teaching at a college or something, and like you'll see earrings, and then you see no earrings, and I'm like,
Okay.
or like like there's another moment of where like we forgot to wear our coats or something. Just because like it was said certain people weren't allowed on set, and it just, and some people couldn't come near us, so a lot of things fell through the cracks, but I know that we did a really good job, and I saw some of this stuff. I did looping is just fixing some vocal stuff, and I haven't
Right, that's
seen.
after you film it, right? It's
Yeah,
later. Yeah.
yeah. And so I saw some stuff. It looks really good. I haven't watched any of the episodes yet.
Well, I have, so I can tell you it does look good. And I didn't notice those continuity issues, but I will now, I think, for the few episodes that I have yet to see. But I think they did a nice job. And I feel like the beginning of the first few episodes, it was like you guys were trying to find your groove or something. I don't mean the actors, but I think that they were, I think maybe Darren was trying to figure out, like, well, how do we, what are our storylines or something. So maybe it
Yeah.
took a few episodes to really get into that place where you felt like it was back again, like the show is back, what you
Okay.
remember.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
also think that I feel like I like to see your storylines this season because I feel like your role kind of got meatier in over time, don't you think? Or no?
I never think about it because I never cared. I
Okay.
wanted to be part of an ensemble. I never. I take certain roles because, um, first of all, this role was different for me. Like when I first took it, it was like to play the lesbian friend. I thought, oh, great! I don't have to wear lashes. I can dress butch. It'll be very different for me.
Not.
Darren wanted me with lipstick, heels, and the whole thing. But what's nice is that this season in particular, I was getting kind of bored. I'm like, can you get me out of this kitchen? Can you get me away from holding a glass of wine and listening, mulling about of Liza Miller's problems?
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's not that it was a small part. It was sort of like they weren't giving you something other than that. So at the
You know
beginning,
what
but
it
they
is?
did.
Yeah, this they did, and they have here and there give me good stuff. I mean, I am like,
Yeah.
I do drama, I do comedy, and I'm a great physical actress, physical comedian. And when they give me that stuff, it rocks because like I nail it. And I this season they got me out. I was barely in the loft. In fact, we shot almost all of my loft scenes like the last week, and I didn't have that many. It was thank God because we lost our stage because we were because of COVID and the shutdown, we had to push the production from filming in March to filming in the following September. Yes, no, October we started, and we lost our stage. We had always been at oh God, what's the name of the stage that we were at? The one in Astoria, uh,
Kaufman?
huh?
Kaufman? No.
Kaufman,
Yeah. Right?
Kauf.
Kaufman or Silver Cup? There's Silver Cup and
It's Silver Cup. Kaufman's the nice one.
yeah.
Silver Cup is kind of beat down, but it's Silver Cup. So we were at
Okay.
Silver, which is great. Long Island City, convenient, whatever. Um, our new stages were in East New York, borderline Queens, in an industrial area. So it was like
Oh,
going to.
is that no, I don't know that one. Where's the one where they filmed like Brooklyn stages or something? That's not that. In
Oh no,
like Gowanus or something?
no, no,
No.
no, no, no. This is East New York. It's the armpit of Brooklyn. It's the
Okay.
borderline of Queens. It's way out, and it's also like a really bad area. East New York's a tough area. It's gone through a lot. There's a lot of crime, a lot of drugs, and this is in an industrial part. So going through East New York at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh my God, like this is a little sketchy. Um, I mean, not that it bothers me, but I was like, you don't walk around East New York at 3 o'clock in the morning. There's no food to be had at 3 o'clock in the morning in East New York. It's very like you feel like you're someplace else altogether. So anyway, I got out of the kitchen. I got to do a lot of stuff. Darren Star wrote me. I asked him for 6 seasons, and finally in the seventh season, he gave me as a gift a scene in the subway.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've
It's
seen that yet.
an
Oh, good.
station, and it's great. I won't tell you anything more about it, but I finally got my subway scene. So that was great, and it's just bittersweet because it's over. Like we hit Hillary Duff's belly. Excuse me. We hit her belly
Yeah, I
forever,
see it. I did see it.
like popcorn bowls or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was a trooper. I mean, that girl literally like never complained, sat there with her stomach and came to work. And it was a very different season this season, as you know, because some people didn't come to work. But
Right. Wait, why isn't Miriam Shore there this season? What was that
I,
about?
I don't know really what it's about. That wasn't really it was one of those things where we really never knew what was going on there. I mean, it had something to do with the COVID situation. I think fear and whatever, but yeah, it's
Oh,
nothing. We missed her. I mean, there's no replacing Miriam Shore.
right.
Um, so, but it was a different season. You know what I mean for us. But my stuff doesn't take place in the office. So I just missed it. I missed the table reads. I missed the camaraderie of like being around each other on the set. A lot of
Yeah.
times they would keep us as much apart as possible. Um, so it was a very strange experience shooting during COVID, but
That is
we got
weird.
it we got it done, and it's all tied up.
So, right. So tell me, so did you get to hang out with them at all? Like, did you get to hang out with Peter at all? Peter was
Nope.
just never. Peter
I've
was,
never hung out with Peter. I mean, I'm friendly with Peter. I like Peter and Mariska. We have a few similar friends. We always miss each other at a party or whatever. But I don't hang out with anybody from work. I never did.
yeah.
Not that I don't want to. Like like I've had dinner with Miriam. I saw her in Portugal. I've invited Sutton. I've invited a bunch of them to my husband's restaurant at the time, but like just never made it. I've had lunches and with different of cast members during filming. Like we'll go out like we're for shooting in Williamsburg. Like, let's go to lunch. Like we have like 40 minutes. Let's go like hit a restaurant. But everybody has kids. Everybody's busy with their significant other or their children, and for the when back in the pre-COVID, I mean, like I want to see my friends.
Of
You know,
course, of course. But now you didn't even get to hang out with them on the set, really, which you would
well,
normally be able to do
yeah,
somewhere.
no. And the thing that sucked is that we were really each other's pod. I mean, we actually tried to hang out. Like there were moments where I'm like, "Oh my God, you're not vaccinated. You're tested. I'm tested. We're at the same job. We're not going out and seeing other people. Let's get together." And pretty for the most part, it just didn't happen because of it was an intense winter this year. Like we had more snow than we've had in like 20 years.
Yeah, I know
And
about that.
yeah, so like it was like this really intense winter. And then like as the holidays were approaching, my daughter was also coming to stay with me, and I had to have a very, very small pod window. Like I had a few people that used to come over, but then people stopped getting tested as much. I don't know why. They were getting tested a lot because of the holidays. And then all of a sudden people stopped getting tested because they weren't flying to see grandma or whatever they
Mm.
were doing. And like, when was the last time you were tested? Oh, I got tested like last month. I'm like, well, you know what? I can't be with you because I need to earn a living. And if I bring, COVID to work, then because I have no antibodies left, my antibodies like were gone by August. So, I just wanted to complete my job because if one person gives contact trace, then like it shuts production down basically. And
Totally.
hundreds of people like, don't go to work.
I know. I was talking to my friend Yul Vasquez, who was taping something
Right. Well,
in New York,
uh-huh.
and they're taping something. I think it was for Apple TV, and right, I think it was the hairstylist tested positive. So because she had contact with basically everybody, everybody it had shut down for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's big. So all right, look, characters. Let's discuss the younger characters. So I know you're in it, so it's a little different, but there are gonna be people who are tuning in today and they were big fans of Younger. So let's discuss the characters and the plot lines. So
Okay.
let's discuss Team Charles, Team Josh, whatever. Liza, what do you like? Have you been pulling for somebody all along or what?
Well, Maggie has never met Charles.
Wait,
This
Maggie met Charles this season.
this season, yeah. So
Wait, is that
my
the first time? What?
so I met him at the wedding of last season. At the end, I meet Charles at the end. Wait, does he come over? He might have come over in the end of season 6. I can't really remember. That was the first time I met him, and I also met him at the wedding of Diana Trout.
Okay.
So I've never been Team Charles because the way that I think Maggie feels about Liza Miller, is her best friend, is that like sleep with whoever you want. Like you're not married, have fun. Like why do you need to like choose? And if it's bothering you that you need to make a choice, then the only one I knew is Josh, and Maggie and Josh have a close relationship. So I've always been Team Josh, but I've always thought to Liza, like, if you're, Charles is complicated. He's older. He's sophisticated. He's got, the agency. It's her boss. He's married, or he was married. He goes through a lot in season 6 to become available for Liza. So, it's a complicated thing. And, she's the one that's torn. I mean, I think that Charles was very clear at the end of season 6 that he was what his intentions were. Um, and I think that she's just been through it and now she just doesn't want to be married. So season 7, is interesting because it deals with that.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
definitely Team Josh, no doubt.
Of course. I really never even thought about it that way because, of course, yeah, you were, oh, as Maggie, you're always together. By the way, is that Janine Garofalo? Is that Janine
Yes,
Garofalo? That is, right?
it's Jeanine Garofalo.
That's so
She's on the
funny.
show this year.
Right, right. So she comes in probably one of the first episodes. So that's interesting too.
I couldn't even tell you when she
Yeah,
comes in.
yeah, yeah.
It's more down the road.
Another character is the clothes. So we talked about them a little bit,
I st-
but
I'm wearing actually a sweater that was Maggie's. It's kind of like this Japanesey, wonderful Givenchy sweater. I was like, I need that sweater in my life. It's got like kimono arms.
I see.
Yeah, and it's great. It's a really
So
nice.
they let you keep some of the wardrobe or what?
I took a couple things. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
let's look
really,
at your
really good.
hair too. I'm living for your hair right now. Turn to the side so everybody can see it. It looks so good. So you
It's
did
just a
this yourself.
ponytail. It's just a
What?
ponytail.
Yeah, but it's
It's
not
just
just a
a
ponytail.
ponytail, and then I took the top and I just like twisted it a little bit and stuck a pin in there.
Okay, but that's fine. It sounds so simple, but not everybody can do it just like that. Like just a ponytail to me is I'm just throwing my hair up in a ponytail holder and like wrapping it around a bunch of times. It doesn't look like it's ready for camera.
Well, I'm always ready for camera. That's what I do. So, and I learned how to do it early. I also learned how to do hair before I learned how to act. So, I mean, I went to beauty school.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't learn how to do hair in beauty school, actually. I learned how to smoke tons of pot and turn a doll head out. I mean, that's what I did. I did the state board set and painted my mannequin, and we would smoke tons of weed in Bryant Park at 42nd Street, and then walk down to 37th Street, which was where my school was, between 5th and 6th Avenue. It was the garment center back in the day. And, we thought we were badasses. And, we would just do the dolls. So, but having been on photo shoots for years and movie sets and whatever, you pick stuff up. And I just learned how to do decent hair.
Yeah. You do have fun with it too, though. I think that you like it, you're interested in it, so that definitely helps, right?
Oh
So,
yeah, like I have a wig stand. I have all these tools. I'm not good at doing color. In fact, like my gray is coming in right now. And I'm a natural, like my hair is naturally light brown. So between my hair being gray and light brown, I look like a calico cat mess. And there's nothing I can do about it. I refuse to do my own color because I might get it in the front, but then I get like patches in the back that don't get colored. So if the wind blows, I look like one of those ladies you see on the bus who like didn't get her color right. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, yeah, girl, you need to go to the hairdresser.
yeah,
And that would be me. And we're in lockdown now, so I kind of have to roll with it. And
I
it's
get it.
Yeah, no, like when I did the first lockdown in March 2020, I didn't go to the colorist for 5 months. and I let my gray come in, and it looked really good at first. I got some like salt and pepper type of like hair pieces to like incorporate into my life, and and then like I would wake up in the morning when it wasn't done, and it was really dishwater. I thought it was gonna be like white, like my grandma. It wasn't, or it isn't yet. So I was like, oh, this is kind of not happening.
Yeah, I
Like I was
remember
putting
you.
a lot of makeup and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah. I think last time I was with you, you said that you were thinking about just trying out going gray. And
yeah.
I remember you said that, like, I might just do, I think it could look good, but I guess you never did until you had to.
Right, no, I had to, and because I mean, my hair grows fast, and like it's like someone shining the brights at your scalp
Uh
the minute
huh.
like, with the contrast, you know what I mean? And I tried, and I just was like, you know what? No, I'm not ready. I'm just not ready yet.
Right, right.
I like the contrast. It helps my skin look better right now. So it's, I mean, again, don't fix what's not broken. It's not broken yet. So
Yeah.
it is a
So,
little broken now because I do need to go to the colorist, but I have to wait until the lockdown's over.
so you have people in Italy for that, or you're
Yeah.
gonna? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. No,
Um,
like I'm not in like Uzbekistan.
right.
No, I'm in Italy.
They know
Italy
how
is
to do style
expensive
there.
here, I swear.
Of course. So, can we talk about Goodfellas a second? I don't think we've ever talked about this before. Or maybe we did. I don't know. But when I was talking about Michael before, I remembered that's probably how you guys know each other, right? From Goodfellas, which was like 80 years ago, I know.
Yeah, no, that is where Michael and I met. We met on Goodfellas, and then we both also did. I think he was in Jungle Fever with me. We've done a couple movies together, but yeah, I
Okay.
believe Goodfellas is where we first met.
Did you know that Lorraine Bracco did a show where she bought with HGTV? This is very recent. Where
Oh
she
yes, I know.
bought,
I know.
you
She's
know
my
about?
friend.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well, there
I
we
saw
go.
the article years ago. They were selling houses for $1 or
They
$10.
still are. They still, like 6 months ago, there was another thing about it with another town that was doing it. And I remember I was talking about it on my show. Like, I really feel like I have to look into this, like, see if this is really a
Well,
thing.
here's the problem: is that a lot of those homes can be reclaimed uh, and by the ancestors. And so, yeah, go fix it up, and they're going to come back around and be like, no, sorry, that's my house. So there's a little bit of, it's a lot of legality and paperwork that needs to go into it. And it's a great concept. It's a great idea to go do it. I mean, what was nice is that I think that she had a show
She
that,
did.
and the show would be like, it's not that easy to turn out an ancient messed up house. It takes time. It's Italy. It's expensive. You have in all of those places. You have to redo the plumbing, redo the
Mhm.
heating, redo everything from soup to nuts. And in Italy, things go really slow. And I can tell you that out of experience because I know it's not like America. Like I'm very American, so I'm like I'll say to my husband like, can we get like the guy in to hang the stuff on the wall, and I want to switch out the lights, and I want to put some shelves here, and I want to redo the floor, da da da. And he's like, well, in order to do this, first this has to be done, and then like the guy he leaves, he goes to lunch, he goes home to take a siesta, then he comes back, and we ordered the part, but it's coming from Calabria, and the guy isn't in the office for the week, but we'll get it to you. It's just everything is slow, and you just have to kind of go
Right.
with it. The work takes forever, but it's exceptional. That's the thing. The system is slow, but it works smoothly. Like the healthcare system, the I mean, everything is just different, but it works.
So, are you
So
part of the healthcare system there too, then? Do you get to use their stuff?
yeah,
Their
well,
system?
I'm an Italian citizen. I've been an Italian
Right.
citizen for 20 years, so I have, what my call like my number, which is kind of like your social security. It's called codice codice fiscale. Then you have to have your health papers. You have to have, your bank account in order to get a telephone. You can't open a bet. There's so much like paperwork and bureaucracy,
Ah.
taxes and papers, and They have to write receipts out with your tax documentation number on it whenever you like. I bought a subscription for $10 to a newspaper that's in English, and like you have to give it a tax number to, because they have to write out a receipt. Like everything is very by the books here. So it works. It's great. It's just different.
I think it's great what you did. I think it's amazing. You were like, this is the time. You took advantage of the timing, everything that was going on in life. Everything's still here for you. You'll come back for them as needed, but you
Yeah.
get to have a different experience now. I'm totally envious. I would totally do that if I had the opportunity to do it. I think it's amazing. To your
Well, there's
Italian
also
with everybody.
art scene here. There's a fashion scene here. I mean, once things open back up, like there's Palazzo Pitti. There's the Week of Fashion. There, my friends from Paris and London and France and in the United States come here for those type of things. I have friends that are designers. They work for designers. They come here to buy fabric. Everybody comes to Tuscany who does come here. If they pass through Florence and see some art and churches and whatnot. And I know how to get to Siena. So like when I have friends come visit, I like get in my car or we'll take the train to either go to Rome or go to Siena and just go for the day for lunch, walking around, discovering old ancient towns or wherever. Um, I mean, I look forward to kind of being, maybe I'll be a tour guide when all is said and done. I'm just having so much fun with the idea that I'm going to have visitors come here and come visit me. And then I get to show them my Florence, you know.
Yeah, you could start a whole company doing that if you wanted
I
to. If you
kind of could. I kind of could, but there's a lot of competition out there.
Yeah, but
And
you're differentiated. You are somebody different who has a name for herself already.
that's true, but I also like want to do what I do best, and that's being an actress. Like I'm not trying to be a director. I'm not trying to be whatever. I know what I do well. It's just hard because I'm not going to be doing much of that in Italy, and so my job will take me away from my family. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I mean my husband and I like reuniting was fantastic. I'll tell you, like being away for 5 months, I felt very appreciated, and so did he. I mean, we truly like it was so hard for us because we're like frickin' frack. We're a little bit joined at the hip. So it's good for us, and I like it. I like having that kind of independence and coming home and sharing stories. I think it's good for a relationship.
Right. That was a big time to be away from each other. And I remember that he would come in and out and be doing this and that, but you guys would both be in terms of a day, right? Like he would be going to the restaurant or something and then he'd come back in and he'd be checking his
Yeah,
bread to see how that was doing.
really remember the memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you
it's
guys,
harder for me parting with my children.
okay, total change of direction. If you could
Okay.
have two celebrities be your parents, who would you choose?
Oh my God, Alberto Sordi and let's see, Lucille Ball.
Okay, what's your weirdest habit?
My weirdest habit, huh? Um, I have bad habits, good habits. My weirdest habit.
How about your best habit and your worst habit?
Okay, my best is self care. I take good care of myself. My worst is cigarettes, I suppose. Trying to cut that out right now. I haven't had one today. Um,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Brava.
Habits, weird habits. I don't know. I mean, let's see. Like I might like pluck a hair out of my face, out of my chin, but that's not a habit necessarily. That's a necessity. Uh, um,
I
yeah.
think you're good. You're good. You're good. Moving on.
Okay.
All right. What's one gig that got away?
Well, I don't know that I would have gotten it after they saw. Um, I'm gonna brain fart. The Sopranos. I didn't go in for the role of Carmela. I was like, you know what? I don't need another mafia role. And I didn't know how good the series was going to be. And there's no one that could have played that character better than Edie Falco. So, but that was one thing that went away. Oh, I was cast in a better role in the Doors with Oliver Stone directing. But long story short, turned I said I wasn't available because I had promised Madonna that I would do her makeup for her tour. And I didn't know that I was going to be booking a movie because I just kind of had started, done a few things, a few movies and stuff, but like I thought I would have the 3 months available. And then she was like, "Oh, you promised me, and I'm a person of my word." And I asked the casting person if they could move the date. They said no, and I felt guilty, so I pulled out of the movie. And then Madonna hired somebody else. And I was like, "What? Wait, what?" I just gave up a role in the movie, and I ended up getting a smaller role that ended up on the cutting room floor, instead of playing the role. And actually, the actress who played it was older than me. I can't remember her name. It was one of Jim Morrison's lovers, and she was perfect for the role. I actually was too young, but I had booked the part, and and I didn't speak to Madonna for like a year. I was really mad at her, but we made up, and life went on. And I sort of believe that things happen for reasons, you know. But that was a role that went away in the Doors.
If there was a biopic about you, a movie about your life, who would you like to play you?
I don't know. There will not be a movie about. Well, actually, there might be if I ever sit down to write the book. And it would start early, and I don't know 15-year-old actors. I don't watch, a lot of young movies in terms of like, movies with young people. Uh, so I don't know. I can't say like Scarlett Johansson,
Okay.
I mean, sure, she looks a little bit like me, or I look a little bit like her. I mean, I look like her older sister, maybe, but I would just look for someone that had edge and that was raw. There's no name I could give you.
Right, right. I never thought about that, right? Because you left home when you were 15, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like it would span from 15 until I guess whenever is interesting within the story of telling
Uh-huh.
a story for 2 hours. And the story wouldn't probably go into my older life, so it might be more focused on the 80s. And I would have to find young talent that I don't know. I don't really know somebody in their early 20s. I mean, there's lots of great actresses out
Okay.
there. It's just that I couldn't tell you one right off the bat.
Okay. So who is somebody who you worked with who you just hit it off with right away and became like fast friends and you just knew this person, there's something about this person and me, it feels like total natural friendship. Or did that ever happen with anybody?
Sure. I mean, I have gosh, I'm trying to think of like Michael Imperioli's one of them. I mean, I worked with him on Goodfellas. We've been in touch and been friendly for years. Girl wise, um, I mean, Drina De Niro, Rosie Perez, tons of different. Catherine Narducci, who's um, been working a lot lately. In New York's a small place, even though it's a big metropolis, and but the scene's rather small. And I'm an actress that actually, I mean, I'm not competitive really. So even in Los Angeles, I mean, Jean Triplehorn, I get along with everybody. Gina Gershon, Marissa Tomei. I mean, these are all contemporaries of mine. We all go up for the same roles, and we all like hit it off and see each other here and there, have meals, and in New York, it feels a little more organic because you can just jump in a cab and go, "Oh, I'll meet you at such and such restaurant." Whereas in LA, you have to make a plan, go to someone's house. Um, but I'm actually friends with a lot of male and female actors and actresses and directors. I mean, to me, they're just people. They're just people with a job. I have dinner with my plumber, my cleaning people. Like I just like to be social. So and actually, the idea of having new friendships over 40, finding a new best friend as you get older is complex. People come with baggage and whatnot, or knowledge, which is fantastic. I'm finding that I'm meeting so many great people in my later life. I'm trading numbers with people. I'm emailing people. I have dinners and drinks with people. I mean, from directors to parents of my, of my children. I'm best friends with my younger daughter's best friend's mother. It happened. I met her at a ballet class and we just vibed and it was natural. I just stayed in her house for 5 months. I mean, I appreciate, those moments of where it's natural and I just I'm a person who likes a lot of people. So it's not like I have a very small world. My world is pretty big in terms of my friends, even though I'm a loner to a degree. So yeah, I just really love meeting new people older, because I never thought I'd have new friends again. I've had friends that have died of AIDS in the 80s and 90s, and you think like, oh my God. And then like I'm so full of great people that I love. I feel really blessed, to be honest with you.
I think that's great. And by the way, I totally hear what you're saying, that it is harder, I think, overall to make close friends as you get older because sometimes your circles get smaller. But I find that I'm seeing more and connecting more with really great people recently as I'm getting older. And I don't know if that's a change in mindset or an appreciation of different people. I'm not sure what it's
I
about. I
think
was
it's
talking to,
all the above. I think it's
yeah,
all the.
yeah.
He's like, you also get interested in different things as you grow, and you meet people in different fields. And I sit down with people from being, into like whatever, whether it's art or architecture or medical or electronics or tech or whatever. And I just, people, we all have a common love of good food, of laughter, of imbibing on good alcohol or marijuana or literature or sobriety or whatever your bag is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's just people out there, and I'm a people person. I'm also a people connector. Like I like to introduce people and I like to host people. So yeah, my life is never lack of void of any of that kind of stuff. My trust level in friends, on the other hand, I'm very careful because I'm private. I'm not too private. I'll tell you anything you want to know for the most part. But when it comes to like, really like my personal private little bubble, there's just stuff that I only share with certain friends. And that's, I think, a good thing.
You get
I've
better
got a
at.
lot of negative people out actually during this pandemic. Has kind of woken me up to, I'm just like, you know what? It's just not necessary to have certain friendships in my life anymore. They consume my energy. They don't give me back anything. They exhausted me. So I made some changes, and it's hard to make those changes, but eventually, like, I just feel lighter, and surrounding myself with people that like that care about me, that are like lovely, good energy. That's what I want around me right now, not people that exhaust me and drain me. So that's been a nice thing, that coming out of a pandemic, like, I'm not going back to the way it was. Nothing's going to be the same, really. And it changed me in a very profound way. So I like this new feeling, you know.
This was only part 2 with Debi. If you missed part 1, now's a great time to watch it. You'll love it. She talks about her new move to Italy, why she moved from New York to Italy, what it took to film the latest season of Younger, which just dropped on Paramount Plus, and some major changes thanks to COVID. So that's part 1, and I put a link right in the description below, or you can just tap on this card right here, and that will take you right to it. And if you like this talk, I think you will also love my talks with Debi's co-stars. I have a few talks with Michael Imperioli, Salvatore Esposito, who we mentioned, and her younger co-stars, Peter Herman, who plays Charles, and Miriam Shore, who plays Diana. So I put links to all of those in the description below. Check it out. Happy viewing, and let me know what you think, because I love to read the comments. I really do.